Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do the first time tag. So the first question is first tweet. Now the first tweet on my YouTube Twitter, because I have like a personal one as well, is, I think it's something like, you can go back and have a look, it's still there, but my Twitter isn't loading right now, but I think it's something like filming and editing lots of videos or something like that. First YouTube video. My first YouTube video was a summer essentials video and it is still up. I'd never deleted it. It's not my favourite video that I've ever done, but that is my first video. That is up, I believe. Yes, summer essentials. The next question is first person you subscribed to on YouTube. The first person I subscribed to on YouTube I think was Tanya Burr. And if it wasn't her, then it was Cute Girls Hairstyles. I love Cute Girls Hairstyles, and yeah, it was probably them two, I think. First Facebook profile picture. I know that my first profile picture is not still up on Facebook because it was embarrassing, but I'll show you the one that is like most recently up. It's actually a picture of me and my parents and my brother. Turn around. I don't. And it is when we were in Australia visiting my auntie back in 2010. So there you go. Next question is, do you still talk to your first love? Yeah, I still do talk to my first love. What was your first alcoholic drink? I think my first alcoholic drink was probably something like Smirnoff Ice or WKD, which doesn't really do much to you, but I think that's probably what my first alcoholic drink was. Next one is, what was your first job? My first job, and actually still current job, is working in a fish and chip shop. I mentioned it in my 50 facts about me, but I work in a fish and chip shop and I actually really like it because I work with my friend and her family, so it's a nice place to work basically. What was your first car? The first car I drove was my mum's car, and that is a Peugeot, I think. It's a Peugeot, but I don't know what like Peugeot make it is, and that was also my first car. I don't actually drive it right now because I haven't passed my test, but when I've passed my test I'm getting insured back on it, so that will be my first car. Who was the first person you text today? The first person I text today was Jodie's sister. Next question is, who was the first person you thought of this morning? The first person I thought of this morning was, I don't really think of people when I first wake up in the morning. I just think, right, food. That's usually what I'm thinking. Or, coffee, iced coffee. I don't really think of people in the morning, so I would say no one. Who was your first grade teacher? So does this mean reception teacher or year one teacher? In England it's a bit different. So my reception teacher was called Miss Traves and my year one teacher was called Miss Shepherd, because I don't really know what first grade means. Where did you go on your first ride on an aeroplane? The first place I went on an aeroplane was to Crete. Who was your first best friend and do you still talk? My first best friend was someone called Harry, someone called Laura, someone called Brandon. There was like a group of us because our parents were friends, so there was quite a few of us. I guess we were friends, but that was like baby friends. But first best friend was called Gemma and I do still talk to her, yes. Where was your first sleepover? My first sleepover I think was at Gemma's house, and if it wasn't, it was at my friend Molly's house. What was the first thing you did this morning? The first thing I did this morning was I got up and I went and had a shower. What was the first concert you ever went to? The first concert I ever went to was, it was like a local thing in my town, but besides that it was Jessie J, like a proper concert. First broken bone. I have never broken a bone. first piercing. My first piercing was just my first hole, and I've got my second hole done. And fun fact, I couldn't have them done till last year because of the holes in my heart, in case it got infected and went to my heart. First foreign country you've gone to. The first foreign country I went to was Germany. First movie you remember seeing. The first movie I remember seeing was Mamma Mia, but I know that that's not the first movie I saw. I did see another one with my parents and I think my parents' friends and their children, but I can't remember the name of the film, so the one that I actually remember is Mamma Mia, which wasn't that long ago, so it just shows how bad my memory is. When was your first detention? My first detention was in geography, I think, and it was just because I didn't do my homework, because I forgot. So yeah, that was probably my first detention, and last detention because I only ever had that one, I think. Who was your first roommate? I have never moved out and I do not go to university, so I have not had a roommate yet. If you had one wish, what would it be? If I had one wish, it would be to have the money to travel the world, because I would love to travel the world. I am actually going next year to Australia. Fingers crossed, hopefully if everything works out. I'm going to Australia to stay with my auntie for as long as I want. I'm going to work with her. She works walking dogs and that's actually a really good job over in Australia. So I'm going to go and do that and help her. But yeah, I think probably to be able to travel the world and to see as much of the world as I could, and just to enjoy life, which sounds really weird, but that is probably one of my one wishes. What was the first sport you were involved in? The first sport I was involved in was netball, I think, and if it wasn't netball, it was hockey. What was the first thing you do when you get home? Take off my shoes, obviously, get myself a drink, and I will just sit down in my living room or come and sit down in my room and just chill for a bit. And last question was, when was your first kiss? My first proper kiss was, I want to say year 9. No, not year 9, year 11? Year 10 or year 11 was like my first proper kiss. But my first kiss with like my first proper boyfriend was in year 7, which would make me about 11. So I guess that's not a proper boyfriend. Whereas in year 10 and year 11 I feel like that is a proper boyfriend. So those were all the questions. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. All my links will be down below so that you can follow me on social media, and also my blog, which I've neglected a lot, but I am trying to get back into it, I promise. And I've just got a lot going on at the moment. I work a lot of the time, and then when I'm not working I'm exhausted and I want to see my friends and my family too. So I am getting around to doing stuff, but it's just a bit hectic at the moment. But yeah, all my links will down below so that you can, because I post on there quite a lot as to why I haven't been uploading videos and stuff. Don't forget to give this video a like if you liked it, because it helps me, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!